Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 312. Back down in the basement with my co-host and son, Jack, to talk about another week of professional wrestling. In-depth review of AEW Dynamite, discussion of NXT, some WWE main roster always comes up. Not a thorough review by any means, but discussion of notable stuff probably will happen, I think, in our news segment, which will be first after we banter. Timestamps to navigate to whatever you want. We just finished a family visit. My parents, coincidentally your grandparents.
Indeed.
That's how that works.
That is.
Just up for a visit, came for dinner, show off their new car. We compared new cars. We both got new cars within weeks of each other. They bought theirs first, but had to wait for it where we got ours.
Right, because they weren't here.
So they bought theirs first, but it had to be delivered and shipped. And we bought ours last, but it was right out of the showroom. So we had it first. But anyways, so that was nice. Got a nice meal from Ava's Kitchen. You got your shawarma.
I did.
Yeah. And then you've just been sort of poolside a bit this week, enjoying the weather.
We'll do that this weekend, I think, is the plan.
Oh, yeah. You're having some people over on Sunday to use the pool in the backyard and whatnot. I've been pickleballing and disc golfing as usual. That's about it. I don't know.
I don't think this is one of those weeks of banter. I can't.
Because we're together all the time. So when you're at university, we banter.
At least there's a little, I guess it's so interesting.
But I don't know what else to banter about. So I say, if you think of something. Pump fake? Nothing?
Tried.
I don't really have anything either.
I tried.
So let's just get into wrestling then. That's what people are here for.
I guess next week we can talk about if we're going, because we're going to Jack White next week.
We are going to see Jack White next week for your birthday present.
Nice.
Yes, that'll be fun. You got to check out the new album.
Yeah, I've done, I guess that's the only thing that was today was there's new album. Came out this morning, which I listened to like half of it. I told you some of them are pretty good.
Okay.
Stuff's like, it's more interesting now. It's less like, I've always liked the older stuff better, but
of course,
I think it's still good. And then the new KG Elephant song was also out today, which is like my new favorite thing.
So new rock and roll is out.
Yeah,
people should listen to. I
found another random song on Instagram that came out today. So just
by who?
New Music Overload, some band I just discovered.
Nice. Who are they? Give them a shout out.
Their name is Axe and the Hatchetmen, I think.
And I've been checking out Modern Alibi, which you liked one song.
Yes, they're good too.
That's a disc golf crossover, strangely enough, as weird as that is. Drummer plays disc golf.
Of course, that's how you found a band.
Yeah, because I watch his disc golf YouTube channel. Turns out he's in a band that's actually like, what would you consider them? Modern rock? Like, what are they like?
They feel
indie
like
rock. They're indie rock.
Subgenre of rock. Yeah,
yeah, they're
doesn't
cool.
feel like quite like rock.
Check them out. Big Fuss is a banger.
That's the one I like.
Yeah. But anyways, all right, let's talk wrestling instead. First segment every week, it's news and rumors. So I think the big news, had Sheamus been released when we recorded last week?
I think his contract's like almost, I think his contract's almost up. I don't think he's been released.
Or he's not, he wasn't.
Same idea.
He's basically gone. I don't know if we knew that last week or not, but apparently I saw a follow-up thing suggesting that he gave up on WWE Creative because they never bothered to book him to win the Intercontinental title, right?
He's not.
I don't really blame him. Because why?
Because it's such an easy storyline to do. And I've never been like the biggest Sheamus fan, but especially like the last few years, he's been really popular.
And I'm going to use your nerd wrestling brain right now. List off a bunch of meaningless IC champs since he's been around. Go.
Since he's been around?
Yeah. So to prove
Curtis
the point
Axel,
that they could have given it to him at some point.
Curtis Axel, I would say, is a good one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Lashley never did much with that belt.
Anyone recently?
Braun Strowman never did anything with that belt, which that was like 2020.
There's no good reason a guy like
Ricochet
Sheamus
didn't do anything with it.
Couldn't have had a turn.
Apollo Crews. Like I would say, honestly, probably Nakamura.
Yeah.
Even though I like him.
Yeah.
I think giving him the belt makes sense. Like they gave him the belt again, which didn't make sense. Like,
yeah.
In recent times, Jey Uso. You know what?
There
Jey Uso. I'm just gonna say Jey Uso.
The defense rests or the prosecution
but like,
rests.
yeah, like there's so many people, especially because he debuted in like 2009. I think he made his main roster debut. So like, there's a lot of people. There's like, I think Morella had it just before then, but like, I think Curtis Axel is a really good one.
I remembered when they signed him and McIntyre. They were the two big international dudes that were coming.
Yeah, and they gave McIntyre that belt.
Yeah.
Right, like they gave it to Morrison in 2009. They could have given it to Sheamus instead. They gave him the world title really quick instead of giving him the Intercontinental title. If they had just given him the Intercontinental title then, this conversation wouldn't have happened because I'm pretty sure he would have won the world title anyways.
I find his situation interesting because it's kind of like WWE's in this position where they're like, so they can choose not to use you at all on TV or in anything meaningful.
Stevie Richards point this out, yeah.
And then come along and go like,
hey, we're not using you.
You're not getting used. You're not really doing anything.
Yeah, right? It's kind of like, it's such a weird thing where they can dictate your value and then use it as justification.
And then say, see, you have no value.
Right. That's like so weird.
And then the flip side to me is like, show me the time where somebody went to WWE successfully and said like, so listen, I'm really outperforming my contract in the middle of it. You guys should just pay me more. And they go, right? So that's why I have a problem with it. If that's something that happens, then fine. It could go both ways, right? But never are they going to go, you know what? You're really doing a great job and we're not paying you much. Right. So how about mid-contract, we just start paying you more, bud? Right? That's not a thing that they do.
It never happens.
So it's funny.
I would also like to point out in the entire time Sheamus has been there, they gave the belt to The Miz 9 times.
Yeah.
Gave to Ziggler like 6 times. Right. And like, it's cool to like, or no, Miz was 8. Sorry. Jericho's 9. Miz was 8. Point being, all of the Miz didn't win the Intercontinental title till like, I want to say 2012 or something when Sheamus was there. So that means all 8 of Miz's title wins.
One of those could have been Sheamus.
One of his wins was, I think he held it for a day, I'm pretty sure. Like, not all of Miz's reigns were long. I remember having, like, decent length runs in, like, 2016-17 when he was, like, the Intercontinental Champion, right? But, like, how many of those runs? It's like Cena. Not all of his world title runs were, like, mammoth things. You know what I mean? It's like Cena had 17 world title wins. How many of those do you think he could have given to like Umaga or Kennedy or something like that?
Yes,
right?
Umaga.
So yeah, like there's some like, and Sheamus, it's like they also at the same time. Okay, here's another Intercontinental Champion, Cena. They gave the belt to Cena last year,
right? For
like just to give him the Grand Slam.
And even
like literally what Sheamus' predicament was Cena's predicament, and they did it for Cena.
And even weirder to me is because the narrative for years was Sheamus and Triple H are boys. That's why Sheamus gets so much push.
He's not
because
actually good.
Triple H actually likes him and they work out together.
And now he doesn't, especially when he's proven he's good though.
In charge, and he does have good matches.
But you could say that for so many people like DIY and Baszler, Andrade, Aleister Black, all these people who did thrive under Triple H.
He seemed to get decent crowd reactions too, Sheamus.
Yes, like, especially recently. Like ever since the Gunther feud, that's what I mean. He's proven to be really popular. And like, okay, here's the thing too, is when they had Gunther's title run and the Intercontinental one, obviously, I think Chad Gable was the right choice, but you could have built up Sheamus for that. Like, Sami Zayn beating Gunther was not the right call.
And we're saying all this as not huge Sheamus. Like, we like him. He's cool.
I've, like, come to respect Sheamus more than I used to, I think.
You have, for sure.
But like I said, like, Zayn did not need to win the Intercontinental title. They didn't want to give it to Gable because he's Shorty G or whatever.
He is.
Give it to Sheamus. Like, Sheamus beating Gunther would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that, so I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
I get his frustration if that is the case.
Yeah, and then they didn't end up doing anything with him anyway, so I don't know. It's TKO.
There's our Sheamus thoughts, because I don't think we got to
I do like Sheamus, and like I've seen people backstage apparently not thrilled about him coming to AEW. I can get that. It would be another kind of middle-aged dude coming to AEW, and I'm like, I don't need him there. I'm kind of intrigued by it, but I can live peacefully if he doesn't.
There is a small part of me that is like, if they brought Sheamus in and let him work a really
I think him and Claudio having a mini feud would be cool.
Because he already works that way in WWE, so imagine if like the restraints are even removed even further.
I think he could go. Like I at first I was like, ooh, no, but I was like, no, he could probably do decent.
I'm interested to see a couple matches and then that's it. Like a very limited engagement, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, I'd take him for like a year maybe or something like that.
And let me really see him work like Gunther, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So, like, there's potential there. But at the end of the day, if we don't see it, I'll be like, that's fine.
Just no loyalty to a dude who's been a really, really valuable part of their company
like I said, he's
forever.
Been in the system for at least, like, since at
and
least
by all accounts,
07,
a company guy. He's never been in any trouble that I remember. Seemed to get along with the right people.
He suffered through the League of Nations.
Right.
I don't know. If I don't need to say anything else, it was the League of Nations. That was what he was doing when I started watching, by the way. It was him doing League of Nations. I hated him.
I think it was referred to on NXT recently, League of Nations.
And then there's no way.
I think when Barrett was
maybe
co-hosting.
But then he did the bar. The bar was great.
Bar ended up being very cool.
The bar was awesome. That was I remember that like kind of made me like Sheamus for the first time.
Yep, they were cool.
That was a cool team. I like that. And I like them even though that was like one of those teams where I actually liked them even though they were heels. It was them, Usos, and King of the Cruiserweights.
Yeah, man.
Were like the heels. I remember like being like, oh yeah, they're cool. Anyways, more main roster-ness here. I've got 2 things where I wrote a lot of stuff.
Go ahead.
Cool. All right.
I'll let you cook, sir.
Monday Night Raw, Sami Zayn lost the WWE Championship, not to Codeth Rhodes.
As you predicted.
I knew he would lose the belt. But
really
then
fast.
They bought it. They had to be CM Punk because it was in Chicago. So basically, for those of you, if you were living under a rock, they ran an angle on this night where Gunther beat down Cody at the beginning of the show, and then he wasn't cleared. So Pierce went and magically found Sami Zayn, a mystery opponent, like minutes before the match. Like he just like called him like, and he's ready to go, and it was Punk. And of course, he won the title. And like, this pissed me off because they really found a way to screw over Sami more, and they somehow made me kind of wish that it was Cody. Like, at least it'd be like, okay, Cody's getting his rematch, and like, at least this is planned in kayfabe. And it's like, okay, Cody wins the title back again. It's just more of the same, whatever. They found a way to piss me off more somehow. And that's saying something because we're no people who want Cody to win the title again.
Not at all.
And I was already annoyed when I thought it was going to be Cody because Sami's reign ended up being a 9-day farce. Because they made this big stink of him not being world champion, kind of like Sheamus and Cena not being Intercontinental champion. Sami's name was the opposite. Where it's like, oh, he's never world champion. You've never hit the big one. You're like, you can never win it, right? And then they finally pulled off a genuine surprise in Saudi. I'm like, oh, wow, they gave him the belt. I was like, because genuinely, I didn't see that coming. I thought that was like, cool. I knew it probably wouldn't last. It was like Darby, but like, Darby had the month.
Yeah.
Right?
With a million defenses.
Right.
Getting his butt kicked every week.
Not saying that you have to do that.
No.
But like, give Sami something to sink his teeth into. But yeah, they yanked the title away from him before he could remotely sink into it. And so the other day, I told you I was watching Wrestle Juice with his the Death Hill opinions video, and someone was, or like I think it was either someone's opinion or he was replying off them saying like maybe they could work this into like a Daniel Bryan type thing, and it'll be like the thing to galvanize the fans around Sami. 1, I don't think that's the plan.
No.
2, I don't think that'll happen. I don't trust them to have that kind of foresight. I'm not saying that doesn't mean Sami won't win the title in Saudi because that was their original plan, and maybe that'll happen.
And they didn't do it when he was red hot. They didn't do it. So
I don't think it's their long-term plan to make him red hot again. Because I just saw like they don't see him as a marquee guy. It's not happening. And I don't think this is like another Daniel Bryan thing. I don't think it's another Kofi Mania. It's not gonna be like that. He might win the title again, but I don't think it's gonna be because of their long-term plan. I think it's because they want to give that Saudi pop, and they're gonna get that bucket of blood money.
Correct.
If they give Sami another hometown title win. And the thing that pisses me off most of all this, of course, if you're a fan of the pod, you'll know CM Punk just being the biggest hypocrite in wrestling today. He might be up there all time. Like if we're doing a Mount Rushmore of wrestling hypocrites, it's probably like him. Maybe is Hogan a hypocrite?
It's because he's so smug and vocal about all of his stuff.
And I would probably nominate him because he's become everything he hates. He's now the corporate ass kisser, ass-kissing shill that he mocks Cena for being. He's the suit-wearing champion he didn't want to be in 2009. Remember, 2009, he had the big gold belt.
Yeah.
He didn't want to wear a suit because he was like, hey, Cena doesn't. And remember, they punished him by having him lose the belt to Taker. Now he's that guy. He's the Blood Money Taker. He criticized The Miz for being. Remember, you tweeted him.
He did.
And he made fun of him. Now he's that guy. He's the wash me eventer taking titles and spots from the current or more deserving guys, which he hated The Rock for being in 2013. Now, another thing I thought was interesting from the Wrestle Juice video was that someone had the opinion that 2011 Punk would hate this. And Wrestle Juice said that I thought he made a good point that Pipe Bomb Punk would actually like this because the whole actual point of the Pipe Bomb was not to be like anti-establishment. It was that he was mad that Cena is getting all this Golden Boy treatment when Punk was like, I'm the best in the world.
He
not
wanted
Cena.
To be in the establishment, and
now
he wasn't allowed.
Is.
Yeah.
Now 2014 Punk, Wrestle Juice said, would probably hate this, and I would be inclined to agree. Now the optimist in me would like to think that Punk would hate to see what he's become if he could see 12 or 13 years ago what would be in his future. But something tells me that he wouldn't care about what he became as long as it benefits him.
Correct.
We saw, and now the last thing I wanted to touch on with this is that we saw reports of backstage politicking from top guys to keep their spots, and there's zero doubt in my mind that Punk is one of them. Zero doubt in my mind. Now this is all played out. I feel like you can see it clearly. I want to couple this with the reports that we saw a little while back of Punk and WWE having issues, and it's not hard to put 2 and 2 together. Now, Obviously, it came out eventually that those weren't as severe as initially reported. Whatever. I still think there was issues. And again, if you line up all of this stuff, it makes sense. What I'm thinking, I have no doubt that Punk was not thrilled about losing another Mania main event 2 years in a row and losing his world title to Roman. And he had issues with WWE once they didn't want to budge on giving the belt to Roman. So he took a hiatus to probably get some rest, but also to get away and like wait for creative to give him something that would benefit him.
To sulk, I would say.
To sulk, yes. And then he conveniently came back when they were willing to give him a world title again. Not only that, but the main belt now. And the reports are they're going to build SmackDown around him now. So
that
now
network wants
we're getting a repeat of him basically doing the collision thing we had 3 years ago.
Yes, that's what it feels like.
He's become everything he claimed to be against, including being a Pakistanese politician like Hogan. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he's someone who criticized Hogan before too.
Yes.
So there's also that. And people are quick to like judge AEW and Tony Khan for like, not reining Punk in or letting him have too much control, like, giving him this, giving him that, giving conclusion in his own show. We're kind of doing the same thing. Now, we always said, like, when he was running Rampage AEW, like, oh, this wouldn't fly under Vince. I don't think it would fly under Vince, but Triple H is clearly not Vince. Mm-hmm. And also, does Triple H even have the final say anymore? I don't know.
I don't know if he has.
I don't know.
I feel like there's other people with input for sure.
Right.
At least.
So Punk's kind of, maybe not to the degree he got to in AEW, I'll grant you that, but I don't think it's too dissimilar from what happened there. He's getting the world titles. He's getting the show built around him.
Punk's gonna punk, man.
Punk's gonna punk. And he's the most hypocritical piece of shit, and I hate him.
Yeah. He's,
like, I mean, hey, add anything if you want. I think I covered it pretty thoroughly.
No, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. This is what he does.
Disgusting, and it's one of the reasons I hate WWE. It's not the only problem with him. It's more a problem with him, but he's just a turd.
Yep, he is. What else do I have here? Did you hear what Awesome Kong said about TNA?
No, I didn't see anything related to Awesome Kong.
I made less than a manager at McDonald's in TNA. So apparently it's it's either in the season premiere of Dark Side or it's her talking about it later. I think
like
it's in it
or something.
And so they basically spent so much money on established names, right? Giving huge contracts to like
Sting,
Angle, Steiner, Booker T, Nash,
like main event Mafia, pretty much,
right? And then Kong said like,
and she was around when Hogan and Bischoff came in, so that's another one.
And a lot of the homegrown knockouts who helped build that company, honestly,
and the division,
they just struggle financially I can't tell you how good the Awesome Kong Gail Kim stuff was. Like at a time,
I don't think I've seen any of
because WWE women's wrestling at that point was nothing to write home about. So that feud was amazing. The women's division, the knockouts division, I guess I should say, in TNA was some of the best women's wrestling there was, and apparently not getting paid well. Doesn't surprise me. Like, this is the TNA business.
How crazy to think that they're probably getting paid better now, and it's not really it's not that groundbreaking, crazy division it was.
They're
probably getting paid better though.
It's a shell of itself, really, at this point. But
they have 3 titles.
True, that's right. They need them.
Okay, one more main roster thing, and then I'll talk about things I actually like. The current Bloodline storyline, I don't know if we talked about this last week, is expected to stretch beyond next year's WrestleMania. So first off, not surprising, they're going to stretch it out for way too long. And milk it for everything it's worth, despite the fact that creatively the well is long run dry for interesting or new story beats. Thoughts on this, and then I've got the rest of my blurb.
It doesn't surprise me.
It's really not news. I just wanted to talk about it.
They're lazy and like copy and paste, right? They don't know what else to do.
I don't even know if it's completely that they're lazy. I mean, I'm not saying it is obviously partially that, but they're also just like it feels like they're just afraid to do anything new, or like because of the current direction of them, and like
they don't need to.
They don't need to, but they also don't want to because they're like, let's stick with what we know makes money. We know Roman and the Usos make money. We know Bloodline drama makes money. We know Cody makes money. Punk makes money. To an extent, Drew or Sammy or LA Knight, how they want to use them. Them not obviously as main guys, because why would we do that? Mm-hmm. But like they know what makes money, right? So they're gonna keep doing that. They're afraid to like straighten things. Because why would you try something new? You don't know if that's gonna make money. What if it fails?
Copy and paste the stuff that works.
Right.
Is where we're at.
Like, it's so bad because the current state of the Bloodline thing already feels like a retread of the original version with a slight twist of Fatu in there. But, like, to me,
Who's great in his role but underused.
He's great in his role, but the role's stupid to me.
He should be well beyond that.
Yeah. Because we already did that with Jay, and we already did it with Solo and Jacob, right? So it's a retread of multiple things, really. But even for me, like, it feels like we're doing the same things, but they're slightly different in a meaningless way. And what I mean by that is, like, yes, there's slight differences from the like 2020-ish era Bloodline. I'm not saying it's the exact same, but it's pretty much the same. And any differences are pretty much like surface level, meaningless differences. You know what I mean? Like, Jacob's the one forced to fall in line after losing Roman twice, just like Jay did in 2020. Same thing, slightly different. Usos are once again Roman's henchmen, with Jimmy being the more hesitant one at first, just like in 2021, except now, like, Jay's the main event guy, so he does single stuff sometimes. Same thing, slightly different. Roman's once again the tyrannical, overarching, careless boss like he was in his entire WWE title run. He just is slightly more likable now. Is he?
That he doesn't seem much.
He hasn't
in the limited bits
I don't
I've
even
seen.
think he's changed.
He feels
just
real
like,
similar.
His crowd reaction is different. So same thing, slightly different. He's world champion again. It's just a different belt. Same thing, slightly different. Do I need to keep making the same point?
It's a different show.
It's like a slightly. Oh yeah, okay. It's on Raw instead of SmackDown. Same thing, slightly different. Like, what do we need to do here? Again, like. Those are all differences, but they're meaningless differences.
That's the amount of risk they're willing to take, though.
Exactly. They switch it to their main show, right? And like, yes, Roman's maybe he's a little less like evil or careless as he was, but he's still harsh to everyone. He's only nicer to Jay so that he can go and get more gold for the family, and also probably mainly because they still want to force main event Jay down our throats.
They do.
Again, from what I've seen, I'm like, giving them the benefit of the doubt that maybe Roman's slightly different. I'm not even convinced that he is. In a year or two, or however long they want to run this for, because, I mean, let's be honest, a year is now the minimum. They'll turn Jay again, or turn Fatu again. It'll be slightly different, yet extremely watered down from what we did before.
It's comfortable and familiar for all the fans.
It's also, might I point out, worse because we don't have the entertainment value of Sammy brought because he's too busy being screwed over. It's more of the same with little to no room for growth or new talent, just an absolute waste of time to watch. Little wrestling entertainment, but plentiful ads and sponsors, and a soulless, greedy company to back it. That is WWE in 2026, and I hate it.
It is fairly true. So, lighter fare here for sure. In a video on Instagram, several people from NXT shared what their lives would be if they didn't wrestle. Okay? So anyone, you want to guess what Ariana Grace? No, real life. What Ariana Grace would have been if she wasn't a wrestler?
Was it a pageant thing?
No. Far from it, actually.
Okay.
She has a biology degree.
Oh.
She wanted to specifically be a neurosurgeon.
That's a crazy pivot.
Surprised me, right? Izzy Dame? Go ahead. I could give you infinite guesses, and you would never get it. Quote, I would be in cryosleep on my way to another galaxy. I would go to NASA tomorrow, ask to be put in cryosleep. I don't know if it's a thing yet, but if it is, I'm off. 100 million galaxies away, new people, new planet, new life.
Is she like crazy?
I needed to hear this clip because I need to hear if this is sincere or like.
Is it?
I hope not.
Did you hear it?
I didn't hear it.
Uh-huh.
It was all just in print. But I'm hoping when she says, I don't know if it exists yet, is her being like, haha.
Does cryosleep?
I don't know. I don't know what she's talking about.
Like, where you get like yourself frozen so you can be preserved for years.
I just thought,
like kind of like Captain America, where it's like he gets frozen in ice.
Maybe that's it.
And like, I don't. Okay.
Miles Bourne, really boring. I only have two more. I'd be running my own fishing charter.
Okay.
Then it gets better with Maya Lockwood. I've heard this was Micah, sorry, they said Mila and whatever I got it from. Micah Lockwood. And I've heard this was her actual, I think we might have talked about it before.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
Shot put?
No, she was like doing autopsies and stuff on cadavers.
What?
Yeah. She's working in like morgues and such.
Okay.
Cool, Interesting. Can't believe that's not her gimmick.
Yeah.
Like she Undertaker, basically. Like literally.
Like a shoot Undertaker.
A shoot Undertaker. Yeah. So anyways, I only have one other story that we're absolutely burying the lead on because it's the biggest news of the week, but I'll let you go.
Right.
Yeah.
A nice one, and to go back to positive stuff, is the Beach Break edition of AEW Dynamite drew their biggest viewership in like 2 years.
Awesome.
Not including HBO Max. Apparently did like 773,000, and they got 0.12 in the key demo. I'm just glad to see more big wins for them. It was a big episode, so it makes sense. There was a lot going on.
And I watch NXT every week, and I want NXT to be good. but their Great American Bash did significantly less than their
That was like a PLE.
than their weekly show.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was on a different day, of course, and whatever. But the fact that it's free and like it's on the channel that everybody watches your weekly program, it was down a few 100,000, I think.
Well, because what else was it the same day as Forbidden Door?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the other thing they went up against. It's because like clearly WWE is they want to counter program,
but they don't want to sacrifice anything they care about,
or they can't risk putting something they do care about up and it not doing as well as they want.
I don't think they can risk it from like a PR standpoint, but also because like it's more about the money they would lose if it does worse against AEW. So with NXT, they're not worried about losing that money.
No, and they're like if they don't beat AEW's pay-per-view, well, they're not really supposed to, right? There's a no loss them for them. That's
why NXT's always been the one to go up against them,
because there's they can't lose really.
There's the negative loss is not really there.
So my last one, guess who's back? She, there's your hint, has been out for basically a year. She was in NXT. She's coming back to Evolve. She's one of the all-time like worst characters of NXT, I remember. Like so over the top and just like ridiculous.
Rizzo?
Yes!
Nice.
Rizzo is back.
That was a good guess.
Apparently, she's an interviewer so far.
Does she still talk like that?
Because she can't. Coney doesn't.
Because I would sometimes see videos from her on Instagram, like just her doing normal stuff, and she would still talk like that. So I don't know if she actually talks like that. Real. I don't know though. That bothers me. Like she'll talk like that and like doing a regular thing. I'm like, is this what you really sound like? Because if it is, it pisses me off. But if it's not, I'm like, why are you still doing? Like, either way, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I can't figure it out.
I just assumed she was just putting it on, and it was.
I also thought that, but then I saw her, and like, I'm like, now I don't know.
So she's cleared to wrestle, but is just doing interview stuff. So I don't know if that's just gonna turn into a story or something. But she's back, and I think remembering she was really athletic, but like I barely saw her do anything, and just. The character work as part of the family was so off-putting. Honestly, it almost circled back around into entertaining, right? It was so bad. But anyways,
a little bit.
Good for Rizzo.
Last one I had was AEW All-In moves. I think I saw around 1,000 more tickets since they announced Omega Ospreay for the main event.
Nice. Spoiler.
And they're also moving more tickets than SummerSlam, despite All-In taking place 3 weeks later. So I very much enjoy these wins for AEW. Shouldn't be really surprised given the quality of the respective products right now and the TKO Greeks. I saw, I think the regular ticket price for All In, or it was the regular average was 42, and I think SummerSlam was like 76 or something.
Said it last week, and I'm gonna say it a million times. If you, in good faith, watch an AEW pay-per-view and give it a chance, and you do, and you still tell me you like WWE PLEs better, I don't know how to talk to you.
Yeah. And I think if you're looking for like a family affair, yes, AEW is a little more mature, but at the same time, it's going to be more affordable. And generally speaking, it's still probably fine for kids.
Depends. I mean, it's pretty bloody and violent, depending how old your kids are.
Generally speaking, I think most matches will be fine.
But I remember taking you to death matches when you were little, and you turned out okay.
When did I go to
TNA? Didn't we have some there? Wasn't there?
I guess, yeah. They weren't super bloody though, but there was like the Legos and stuff. Yeah, okay, I remember now.
Yeah, and you were wee, and you were illegally at a show. The first indie show we went to.
It was the when we went to OWE, and then it was the Progress.
So technically the second one you've ever been to, but on the same day.
Right.
Yeah, you were underage for that one too. And look, you turned out to be this violent, murderous person. So
you know me. It's
don't take your kids to wrestling.
To me, it's like obviously you probably don't want your young kids to see like too much violence and gore, and that's fair. But to me, it's like the violent video games make you violent.
Yeah.
It's like no, they don't.
No.
Like you'll be fine as long as you parent decent. Like.
And I remember you told me one of the big ones for you was me telling you to watch when they're being pinned and they're watching the ref. Remember? And that was like.
I remember what show it was. We were watching Hell in a Cell 2016. So I remember.
There you go.
You tell me that night, and then I remember watching Rollins and Owens and Hell in a Cell.
And that's when you
watching it then.
And that's when you know you're a wrestling person because you did not care.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, so it's fake. That just opens it up.
I was 8. Actually by then I would have turned 9, but I was 9 at the time.
Yeah. So it was like, this is what they're doing, and you were it's still interesting to you.
Because it's
to all those
different
people
form
that
of
are
entertainment.
critical of wrestling fans. We know it's fake, man. We know it's fake.
Yeah, I remember being so confused though, because I remember asking you, like, you told me it was fake,
Yeah.
but then I was like, oh, so Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair aren't related? And you're like, no, they're actually related. And I was just like,
it's fake unless it's not.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was so confused. It would have been funny because, like, that was when the Dudley Boys in 2016 still had their return run. So it's like, then you told me they're not actually brothers, and like, something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just would have been funny, like, all the different.
So yeah, they're actually family. They're not. Yeah. Interesting. All right, I guess news is done.
Yeah.
We'll get into what was pretty important.
Very important.
Episode of Dynamite with lots of notable things happening. So we'll do that now. It's this past week's episode of AEW Dynamite. So this show, we definitely watched live, in fact, and I'm the one that cares much, much less about watching live. I would have insisted we watch this one live, I think, because there was just not even in hindsight, even because those two huge matches were on.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And you and I were assuming at least a title change, if not two. So I thought it was kind of like, and because I know you get spoiled and it takes away from your enjoyment a bit. So I was for sure wanting to watch this one live, and we did. And we were not disappointed, I don't think.
We kick off with a brief Kenny Omega interview. He's saying that tonight is it. It's do or die. His back is against the wall. My favorite Cage Elephant song.
It's a good song.
He says he's done his best work with his back against the wall. Shout out that song again. On the indies. And he says that's why he's doing it solo tonight. If this is it, then he'll be willing to shake Max's hand and congratulate him. But he asks him if he can dig deep enough to kill him tonight and crush his dream. We'll find it tonight. And he warns MJF it won't be like their past matches. We get the sign off. I just thought it was a solid, serious promo. He's got to be winning.
Yeah, was it kind of a different tone? He was doing like serious and calm and confident, and the main event feels really important on a weekly, like just an episode of their weekly show, right? And at this point, I was also expecting a title change.
I was expecting that, and also we set the precedent this year that the title can change hands on TV. And if you want to go even further, the first time Omega won the title is also on a TV special. So
it's funny that might come up later. I can't remember. Anyways, I wasn't 100% that the title change was happening, but I was definitely better than 50-50.
I was like at least
80?
75, 80.
Yeah, I think so too.
Something like that. Then we get Ciampa Jericho as our opener. We have a really cool open air setup in wherever it is in Florida. We got a ring level ramp. There's beach decor on the stage with like the lifeguard stand, like with the chair. There's lawn chairs. There's sand on the stage.
Not only are there deck chairs or whatever, they're the exact same. Ciampa went through a chair that's exact same that's in our backyard. So
Ciampa makes his entrance. He hides on the stage getting ready to jump Jericho, and Jericho comes through the crowd because he's so smart.
That's right.
And he attacks him there.
He reinvented himself.
The second Ciampa did that, I was like, I knew Jericho was going to get him. I was like, of course. Jericho, suplexes Ciampa onto one of those deck chairs.
We have that chair
on the stage. There's an old man dive to the floor from Jericho. Willow's bell from Ciampa. DVD on the apron from Jericho, which looks solid, but I've seen better. Fairy tale ending on the steps from Ciampa. That looked pretty awesome. Avalanche area crash from Ciampa for 2. Avalanche area crash from Jericho, the old man one, and Brainbuster for 2. Ciampa grabs a bucket of sand. Jericho hits a codebreaker but gets sand in his face, so he's a little slow to the 2 count. I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah,
that was a neat spot. Jericho misses the lion salt. Ciampa with the pump knee. Then Jericho fighting spirit. Ciampa with another knee. Walls of Jericho on the sand.
That's crazy.
In all caps. Ciampa tries to grab the bucket, but the ref takes it away. Off the distraction, Ciampa throws sand in Jericho's face. Then the finish was the pump knee with no knee pad for the win. So Ciampa wins. He cracks Jericho with a chair after the match. Goes for a power drill, and then security intervened. I thought, for a Jericho match, it was pretty solid.
Yeah,
not my ideal choice for an opener, but not a bad match by any means.
It wasn't.
Ciampa always puts in a good showing, and Jericho wasn't terrible, so really that checks all my boxes. I thought, I like that we made use of the unique environment here, and the decor, with the sand and the fighting on the stage. And Ciampa's dirty win means this obviously isn't over, but for now I'll be happy for him because at least he got a win.
He did. And commentary point out too, and it's definitely notable main event for sure, probably other times, that it's different wrestling outside in the summer in Florida.
Yes, it was noticeable with Omega.
For Jericho's advanced age, right? I thought this was a good match. I'm really happy to see Ciampa win. I felt like it was the right length, and I just looked it up, and it was 14 minutes, which feels about perfect, right?
It was the Jericho match I didn't hate, so.
I agree. Ciampa looks great, as he always does, and Jericho, I thought, for his part, was totally fine as well. The Brainbuster, I thought, looked pretty good.
I enjoyed this more than the Ricochet match, I think.
Yeah, so a good win for Ciampa.
Yeah.
But it's also going to continue, right?
It's not over.
It feels like a stipulation match, maybe why the power tools are out of some kind.
Power drill on a pole, I think.
Or be sponsored by Home Depot or something.
If it was WWE,
it would be for sure, yeah.
Then we get a Brawling Birds vignette. They're beating up guys in a bar while their theme song plays. Windsor says it feels good to do that again. Hater says she doesn't know what they were thinking. I guess that means they're just back in the tag division. I think that's all it is.
Was this good?
I don't even think it was. It was just there.
So the moral is they're back to a tag team?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that helps me a little because I was like,
like that's literally the only thing I think of because they've been doing single stuff.
It's corny. So. I don't know what the point is. And
then they could flash the Brawling Bird sign at the end.
My note literally says, "I think I would have preferred this time used to do something else with them, but it was quick at least." But
I think that's literally all it is.
The pub being named the Brawling Birds or whatever.
That's what I thought. I thought that, and I was just like,
okay, so if that's what the point was,
I genuinely there's no other point I could get.
The tone of it was ridiculous. Obviously,
I didn't really care.
It was kind of like Lucha Underground used to do those dramatic fighting scenes and stuff.
Yeah,
felt like a comedy version of that almost.
When we get an Ospreay interview somewhere outside, I think it was, he says he's pulling for Omega tonight, but you can't look past MJF and deny the year he's had. He hopes Kenny can make it through MJF's antics, and then MJF interrupts. He says Ospreay sounded judgmental, and he says he isn't judgmental. That Ospreay says he's the best in the world without winning the AEW title. Then he mocks his ties with Moxley and Kenny. He says it's ironic Ospreay talks about restoring the feeling when he was the feeling all along. He says he's irritated by everyone talking about Ospreay and Omega being the Wembley main event, but after tonight, Kenny won't be able to, and he'll break his neck at All In. Ospreay says MJF can be whatever he wants, but a lot of people can say they lost him because of shenanigans, and he isn't even in the top 50, and until he ditches the antics, he isn't part of the conversation, never will be. Then they kind of brawl for a bit, and security have to intervene. I thought this was really well done. It would make complete sense that the All In main event was for sure Ospreay MJF. Like, this would be a good logical segment to lead up to that match.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we're leaning towards Ospreay Omega. But this makes me consider otherwise a little bit, or the possibility of a three-way becoming more likely. So this did at least help sow a little bit of doubt for me as to whether Omega would win, because this feels like, okay, we're setting up this match.
They're not just abandoning this story, right?
Right. So I like that. It was a nice way to kind of keep this in the thread a bit.
I know he's probably the best on the mic anyway, but I feel like MJF's just been crushing it lately.
I agree.
He's as good a heel as there is in the business, right? And he can keep racking up title runs. If he's as loyal as he seems to be to AEW, that's another reason they don't mind giving him these short title runs. And
because they know they're going to do it again.
He can be their guy that has 10 or 12 or whatever, right?
He can be like the Cena, yeah.
He's their Flair Cena type deal, right?
Yeah.
So I also liked Ospreay kind of saying, like, because yes, you win all the time, but because
you a lot of people
cheat, that's why nobody accepts you, right? And so that's tapping in those insecurities on MJF wanting to be accepted, like the baby faces are, even the ones that do awful stuff like Hangman, but he can't be. So I always like that the smart baby faces will take a little shot at that insecurity that MJF
and it makes
has.
Ospreay look good, forget like kind of getting his like back at least verbally.
And then it's like MJF was in control of this and was sort of fine until Ospreay struck a nerve, and then MJF kind of gets out of control.
And I like that's what struck the nerve as well.
Me too.
And I'll kind of talk about this after the main event too, but MJF, I think despite being easily one of the best in the world, is so underrated. At least in terms of his in-ring
crazy
work.
To say.
But like,
he's amazing.
Especially WWE shows, but I feel like most people are like, he's just the mic guy, right? He's just the guy like deliver like big promos with a million disses, but like, one, he's surprisingly versatile in the ring. Like, he's more agile than I think people give him credit for. Whenever he pulls like a backflip or something, I'm like, oh damn, he can do that.
I guarantee he's worked his ass off, so it really sells him short to just be like, he's a mic guy. He is an all-round.
And he's so good at selling too. He's like, not only is his style great, and he'll probably have a lot of longevity, he also is great at, we've said like in some matches, he's really giving. He's really good.
Yes.
We talk about Darby and Cassie are probably being the best at it, but he's really good as well at making like his opponents look good.
He does.
Not only just his selling, but like sometimes he'll get his foot and like he'll get his foot caught, but he'll like scream like, oh shit, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it's like also just like, I don't know, he does certain things like that to like sell.
Yep.
Like there's certain things he does I can't think of, but that like he does to sell things better than other people do it. And we'll talk about it after the main event tonight. But like I feel like kind of like Ospreay did kind of point out here, MJF had a stellar year.
Yeah.
And we're half over, just over half.
And I think at the beginning of his career, to say he's just a talker might have been closer to fair. It is not fair anymore.
I don't think so.
At all.
Especially look at the amazing matches he's had with, like, he's had some killer matches with Moxley, the dog collar match with Punk, the Iron Man match with Danielson, the All-In main event with Cole, the death match with Hangman. I would argue the tax match with Briscoe. He dragged Garcia to probably my favorite match of his.
Yeah. He's a main event guy in any company in the world.
He had the match with Kenny this year that was great. Any of his matches with Darby, especially the Full Gear 2021 one. I still even like the match he had with Jay White, and people don't like that match.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I don't know. People are
because MJF had like the leg injury, but he still beat Jay White. I was like, as a diehard Jay White fan, if anyone's gonna be mad about him losing that match, it would be me, and I'd still like that match. I mean, I haven't watched it in a long time, but like, I still think that was good.
He's great.
But like, he's had a million great matches.
Yep.
With like in the Osprey matches, like they had that hour-long one on, or half an hour-long, however long it was, on Dynamite. That was killer. And then they had another match at Wembley. Like, I don't know. I wonder what he has to do to like shake off the.
I know.
I think maybe it will always be that way, just because his style is so like, and maybe that's just the flashiest thing for people is the way he's cutting promos. But I can't think of a time where he's let us down.
No.
Even as a babyface, he worked, and I never thought that would have happened. But when he had his babyface run, he was still doing good matches and doing good stuff. And like, even when him and Cole had that abysmally messed up feud, like the version where like the roles were reversed in the wrong way.
Yes.
The match was still good. Yep. Like, he's had good matches, so I don't get it. I'll talk about it more later on. This is a thing to circle back to. But we move on to Konosuke Takeshita defending the international championship against one Kyle Fletcher.
And we've mentioned him before, my buddy Everett, who's mostly a WWE guy, but leaning a little more.
He's coming to light.
So I text him, I go, hey, Fletcher and Takeshita's about to start. And he was like, I will immediately tune in. So he knows enough about these guys to go, oh, damn, they're fighting for a title on TV. I'm stopping what I'm doing.
As a diehard fan of both of these guys, I was a little disappointed to throw away their first match on short notice, but I kind of figured the reason why, which I'll kind of talk about after the result.
You did predict this.
This is one where I was also kind of unsure of the result, but I kind of had a feeling.
I think you talked about it on here, maybe.
I think so. Maybe not. We get back and forth on the Takeshita line. Fletcher knocks Takeshita out of the ring with a boot, then hits a PK from the apron. Takeshita with the forearm on the floor, goes for it again. Fletcher moves, and Takeshita hits the ring post, so we get some arm targeting, and that'll be our thread throughout the match. Takeshita with an exploder suplex. Fletcher powders out of the ring, then we get Tope con Hilo from Takeshita. I think that's such a funny term, like powdering out of the ring is like, you know, when they like get hit and then they do the rollout or whatever.
Take a powder.
Yeah, it's such a weird
I think
phrase.
It's a reference to when women used to say, I'm going to the powder room, like to powder my nose.
Oh,
they're taking a break. Taking a break from the date.
Takeshita goes for the jumping clothesline again, but he gets midair super kick, which was awesome. Fletcher, he's moving quick. He gets sidestepped, goes in the ropes, blue thunderbomb from Takeshita for 2. We get the bastard driver wheelbarrow suplex on the apron this time from Takeshita. Looked great. Takeshita clocks Fletcher lariat, like he gets laid out flat, turned inside out. Then he goes up top, but Fletcher meets him. He goes to a turnbuckle brainbuster. Takeshita kind of gets out over the top, lands the last ride. We get pretty crazy sequences. Distraction from Callis. Kick in the corner from Fletcher. There's a suplex stalemate. Takeshita eventually lands the Raging Fire, but he can't capitalize because of the bad arm. Eventually makes the pin. Fletcher gets his foot on the bottom rope. That was a great sequence.
It was.
We get Takeshita. They're kind of fighting back and forth for backside pin. Takeshita wins, but then Fletcher rolls through, punts the bad arm, then a super kick, then a brainbuster for a near fall. And eventually, we get the turnbuckle brainbuster, and Fletcher wins the belt, which was a bit of a surprise, but it was what I expected, but still a bit of a surprise to actually have it happen.
Yeah.
A really great TV match as expected. I know how good both these guys are. There's a better match in there, and I have no doubt that we're going to get that on pay-per-view in the not too distant future. I think the action was great, and these guys are both capable of hitting so hard and fast that it's never going to be bad. Kind of a dream match for me because it feels like we've watched both of these guys rise up in the last few years, which has been really fun to see and just makes it satisfying to see them at this upper level now.
And their in-ring styles are 2 of my top 5.
2 of my favorites right now, and in a way that'll complement each other, right? I'm a little surprised the Fletcher won. I had a pretty solid suspicion, though, because Takeshita's scheduled for the G1, meaning he'll be gone for most of, if not all of July. And the last 2 times he did a G1, he wasn't a champion, so we didn't have this predicament, right? But like last time he was international champion, he lost it before the G1 last year, and then in 2024 he wasn't champion until after that G1 run. So I'm imagining he comes back at Redemption or just around then, and then we can set up a Fletcher Takeshita rematch at All In, which I think is where they deserve to have their match.
That'd be great.
Or maybe we work it in to be a triple threat with Okada. I'm okay with that as well. But this makes sense. Fletcher deserves a title too, since he never got to see a second TNT title run through. I think this is what I want him to do after he lost the TNT title the first time. This belt, while it's technically still a mid-card belt, this feels like, for me, in my eyes, is the upper mid-card belt. Like, if I'm going hierarchy, I'm going world title. I'd probably go international next, then continental, TNT, national. Right?
Sure.
Because national's the newest one, and it's the one that doesn't, like, that was getting defended elsewhere. And then the TNT title is like just the lowly
Who's got
TV
that?
title. Which one?
Davis?
National, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I know things.
So now Aussie Open's got national, international titles. But yeah, so like I'm glad Fletcher got this because it feels a little higher in standing for him. I think it reflects his rise more appropriately. And I'm happy for him. And like if they're always gonna have Takeshita drop it here, it does suck that he won it and didn't get to do much with it, but I guess they had to they couldn't hold back on Okada Takeshita longer, right? I just would have had Takeshita defend it at Forbidden Door then. That's my only complaint. He didn't need to be in the cage match. Mm-hmm. But like I said, if Takeshita had to drop it now, I'm glad it was Fletcher because he's someone I want to see in this kind of position.
Fantastic match. Callis, I wrote down a couple things that made me laugh. One, he said he gets betrayed so much because he has such a big heart that basically like he just cares so much and lets people in, right? So, then remember he gets really mad about like questioning what school would accept a thesis on German suplexes, which I also thought was really funny and a fair point. But yeah, fantastic match. Two of my favorite guys to watch wrestle in a match. And I know what you're saying. Like, let's say if this is a 4 1/4 match,
they have a 5-star match.
They have a 4 3/4 match in there. This was 17 minutes, which for TV is great, but I would take another 5, obviously, right?
Yeah, I think in a ideal universe is like a pay-per-view placement and 10 minutes or so away from being an amazing
great
match.
TV, middle of the show TV match with a significant title change, right? Did you talk about the aftermath already?
No, I kept that separate because it was after the commercial break, oddly. So then we get Mick Foley coming out to interview Fletcher.
Which was weird for me to just see him.
I still think it's weird.
Like, I know he's with them and done with WWE, but it was weird to see.
I agree. I thought it was weird on paper and weird in execution. Not bad, just strange.
Yeah.
Foley compliments the match and asks Fletcher what was going through his mind. He says Takeshita was never his friend. He was always number one in Pro Shida, and Takeshita was riding his coattails. He did what he said he would do, and he brought the international title back to the Callis family. Callis interrupts and says it isn't about Foley stealing a spotlight from talent. Foley talks about credibility and says he means it when he compliments Fletcher. He talks about his shoes with a dead dog on it, then the other shoe has a live dog, because Callis will get familiar with him if he disrespects him. He's going to kick Callis, I guess. Callis gets angry and brags about having the international champion, national champion, stupid, because now we have international, national. I hate it. And the TNT champion, then he brings out Kevin Knight. Knight congratulates Fletcher and says took him long enough to bring gold back. And then like Fletcher's just staring daggers at Knight the rest of the time, and I loved it. Well, Knight says he's still owed his world title shot. He doesn't care who it's against because Jet 2 Belt is on the way. Andrade's music hits and he comes out. He says Callis promised him the world title too and he messed up. Now he wants to take a belt from them. And I'm like, okay, cool. Andrade Fletcher. No, he wants Davis's belt. Or sorry, Callis says he can get a shot at Davis's belt if he beats Doyle. I'm like, okay, great. No disrespect to Davis. I will gladly take Andrade Davis. It's just I want Andrade Fletcher. How about Andrade takes that belt from Davis, then we unify that into the international title.
Get rid of one?
I know we just introduced it less than a year ago, but I don't care. Get rid of the belt.
I agree.
Andrade says how you know, and he's egging them on, so Cage, Knight, and Doyle come backstage to chase him. Darby tries to come in, they beat him down. Cage picks up a skateboard and it blows up in his face. And then they brawl, and that's it, pretty much.
Kind of a cheesy way to get into a brawl with the exploding skateboard.
A little bit. And this was kind of all over the place, I thought.
And then when they cut back to commentary, Tony Schiavone is like laughing hysterically, which I didn't think helped anything either.
I guess. Foley's involvement was unnecessary, but it was over quick enough. Like, it was pretty harmless. Andrade was solid. I was disappointed that he got a shot against Davis instead of Fletcher, like I said.
It gets us a Doyle match and a Davis match, which is both will be good, I'm sure.
Yeah. Davis and Andrade will be sick, but I want... Like, Fletcher's belt is a way bigger deal and feels more... Again, feels more befitting of Andrade's current stature, and also Andrade Fletcher sounds nuts. I think Darby making more things explode amuses me. And again, also, like, the more tension with Kevin Knight and Fletcher. Like, I love that, like, Fletcher, like, Knight goes on coming promo, and Fletcher's just like,
Yes.
Dirty look.
Like, Knight can't switch off his cockiness, even if it's people. And again, the Callis family, like, tensions within that is a thing that will just keep happening.
Group, yeah.
Yep.
Then we get Will Ospreay and Jonathan Moxley, I guess Death Riders now, taking on the Workhorsemen.
My favorite jobbers. They are. I like them both, actually.
Mox with chops and forms to Drake. Then Drake tags in Henry. And they got a solid little combo on Mox, I thought. Ospreay tags in Clear's house, then slingshot punch to both. Workhorsemen on the floor. After the commercial break, Ospreay's the face in peril. Ospreay lands a handspring corkscrew kick and makes the hot take out to Moxley. Moxley crowd count punches to Drake, then a cutter to Henry. We get stereo styles clash, pile driver from Ospreay and Mox, like to each of the Workhorsemen. Paradigm shift, hidden blade combo to Drake for the win. This was fine, but like it didn't progress any angles, so I don't know why this is here. I would have preferred, like, could we not have had Jay White do like an enhancement match or something to get him back here?
Okay, not only did it not further anything, but why did Drake, and I like them more than most people do, why did Drake and Henry get so much time and control?
I agree. That was weird too.
So Mox's story right now is he's this amazing trainer who can take Ospreay, who's the future of the company, and even improve his already amazing style.
It would be different if, remember, we were doing like Moxley was getting his ass kicked like at the end of last year. That's different.
And then they struggle for a while with the Workhorsemen. I didn't get
Okay, the only thing I can argue is that like they're a new team and they had one match the other week. That's the only thing I can argue is that they're a new tag team, which is like a okay excuse at best.
And I think they're trying to further that, like, Ospreay's. So I talked about it. I don't think it was on air, but Wei Ting at Post, who has some awesome thoughts on things, was saying like Moxley's the cult leader, right? And Ospreay's like,
you told me this off air, I think.
Yeah, Ospreay's like, yeah, I know he's the cult leader, but I just need him to make me better in ring, and I'm not going to get involved in the culty stuff.
That's part of the cult.
But now he's starting to get sort of swayed into the culty business, despite knowing it was going to happen, basically, right? So it's kind of interesting, for sure.
Then we got a recap of the TBS Championships, Survival of the Fittest match from last week, and Sheeta's win and all that nonsense.
This is when your mother and brother came home, and it's Sheeta, so I was kind of like...
I actually didn't write it down, and then I rewrote down afterwards. I was like, oh, I should probably not forget about it.
I hope they try to establish her a bit. Family came home. I was not very focused here.
Yeah.
True story.
Then we get the Women's Casino Gauntlet for an AEW Women's World Championship match of Redemption. We usually enjoy this stipulation. We get Athena Maya World starting, and we have Tech on commentary and Mercedes Moné watching from the lifeguard's chair on the stage, which was funny. Okay. We had BME from Maya, which I thought looked nice. Sky Blue enters next, so things are off to a rough start. She has a candlestick, and she's using it. Swinging neckbreaker to Maya. Athena slams Blue into the steel steps. Then we get Mina Shirakawa entering next. Maya ducks a spinning back fist from Mina and rolls her up for 2. And then Tekla says, quote, wrestling Mina Shirakawa is like wrestling a blow-up doll, which I thought was really funny. Then we get Rena from Stardom. She wrestled Athena on Collision last week.
I remember.
For the number 2 spot or whatever. And Ghost Jam said she's like 19 and one of Stardom's like next.
She looked okay in this little bit, I thought.
She had an explosion suplex to Rena. Diving shotgun dropkick as well to Athena. Then she snapped Maya's arm. Then we get Julia Hart next to the trash can lid. She goes to town numerous people and super kicks it into Athena's face. Sky Blue shoves Justin Roberts and they grab some chairs. Thunder Rose enters next. Great. She puts a chair in front of Sky Blue and does like her basement dropkick against the ropes. That looked decent. Rosa takes out Rena, and then Alina flies into the Eclipse. Mina breaks the pin. Willow is back. She enters next and clears house. Maya with a Michinoku driver on the floor to Willow, but eventually Willow with the Dr. Bomb to Heart, and Willow gets the win. I had heard a lot of people speculate this, so
I had
this
not
was a cool
until
surprise.
You said so.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. I was like, it's got to be something interesting. Then Tekla and laid out Willow after the match. Divine Dominion took out Sisters of Sin, and then Monet took out Tekla. And she stands tall, and the commentary said like she's got some arrangement with.
They have a working agreement. It looks like.
So yeah. In terms of Casino Gauntlets, this was one of the less interesting ones to me. I thought.
I agree. I thought it was really like straightforward, but
it felt kind of lifeless until Willow came back.
Other than Willow returning, I don't think there's anything else I'm going to remember. Right. So, and then once she showed up, it was also pretty clear who was winning, which is great because we love Willow, and there's heel champions everywhere, and she's a really great baby.
Yes. I would love to see her win the world title, and then I worry that whoever goes in has to lose to Monet. So
I know. I
don't know.
feel like this was the most bland of the casino
I agree.
gauntlets for sure.
Yeah, there's also like it didn't help that you had Sisters of Sin and Thunder Rosa in here, so that's a chunk of the field I don't like.
And I don't know if it furthered anything else either offhand.
Not really. I was surprised Willow came back a little, but given that the vignette, we had her vignette of her like training come back the other week, so I had a hunch. And I think she has a decent shot of being Tekla for the belt. Then we can avoid the heel versus heel Monet Tekla match and have the rubber match between Monet and Willow because I think they're at one apiece right now.
Let Willow win.
Or we could have 3-way. That'd be cool too.
Yep.
But I do think if we do a 3-way for the women, then don't do the Ospreay Kenny MJF match. Like I don't think we should have 3-ways for both world title matches, especially when the world tag titles I think are probably going to be a multi-man thing since the speculation some ladder match with a bunch of people.
Sounds right.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for Willow. I do think it's funny that I think I mentioned it to you that she vacated the TBS title and then a week after they crown a new champion, she comes back. That's partially because they waited so long to crown a new champion.
And it's so weird that with Monet, that they told that whole belt collector thing, and then they sort of remember. I was like, this could be really cool if we see her slipping into madness as she's losing, or she gets humbled. We didn't see any of the titles being lost really, other than the couple that she had from that company, and just like they didn't do it. She's unchanged from this experience. I find it really weird that they didn't.
I wish they built it better because they kind of did in reverse. I think they had her lose the TBS title, and then while she was on hiatus from AEW, that's when she was losing all her indie belts. They should have done it in reverse, where we don't have to see her lose the indie belts because they're indie, obviously. But like each week, we see her coming back with less and less belts, and it's like, okay, she's starting to get more and more
slipping into madness.
Yeah, and then maybe that humbles her, and then hey, maybe she can be like a baby.
She's just gone, comes back. She's the exact same. We'll never speak of this again.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Thinking about Jack Perry vignette, talking about his highs and lows here, and he's afraid of not living up to his potential. Then there were highlights of some of his biggest moments, and he says he wants to be world champion. This is the place he wants to be. As I kind of anticipated throughout the segment, it's just to announce he's re-signed. That's cool. I'm glad he's still around. Not much else here.
He wasn't going to go to WWE, that's for sure. Because Punk's, I didn't think there was anywhere else he was going.
No, me neither.
I'm kind of like not super impressed with him. I think he's a guy, but I don't think he's anything special at this point.
Then we get Speedball interview. He talks about how Callis has taken so much from him and he wants the national title. No offense to him, but why do people keep going for Davis's belt?
Because he's what was JC Jane the most? What did they call
champion?
Yeah,
but
ever?
I don't think no.
But
like for me, it bothers me because the layup's literally there to do the Fletcher rubber match for like the international title. You could even do it where he's Fletcher's placeholder challenger for Redemption because they're in Canada.
True. That'd be sick.
Maybe we're still doing that, but like I don't know why we did this.
No, me either. It was just a quick little thing. At least because he's been less visible, so it was nice that Bailey was on and he's going to get a match. He's not winning, but...
Yeah, he's definitely slipping ever since Kevin Knight's kind of eclipsed him.
Yeah.
Okay, it is main event time. It's MJF defending the AEW World Championship against Kenny Omega. If Kenneth loses, he can't challenge for that belt again. He will get hangmaned.
That's right.
Lengthy announcement for intro for Kenneth. I wonder who's winning. To be fair, MJF did make Justin Roberts do his as well.
He did.
We get some crowd brawling early on. Omega cleared like an area of the crowd and threw MJF into the rows of the chairs. Omega back in the ring lines up for a V-trigger. MJF pulls the ref into the way, which is kind of a call back to their last match. But MJF uses this as an opportunity to take control. They battle on the stage. Omega with a moonsault off the lifeguard chair. That was pretty sweet. Missile dropkick to the back from Omega. Tope con hilo. Snapdragon from Omega. Then we get soul kick, knee to the face, rolling elbow from MJF, V-trigger from Omega, then a clothesline double down. Really great back and forth. Powerbomb backbreaker and a package power driver from MJF for 2. Like, that's such a crisp combo. Again, he needs to get more credit. MJF goes for a tombstone off the apron through the announce table. Omega gets out. Then he runs the ropes. MJF still in the apron. Single leg dropkick, knock MJF off the apron. It goes perfectly head first through the announce table, and it breaks really satisfying way. I thought it was awesome.
Destroyed that table.
Clearly, like, one of the more gimmick spots for the announce table, the way it, like, snapped in half, at least the top of it did. But I thought it looked beautiful, and I won't complain, because it was awesome.
It did look good.
Fireman's carry rolling senton on the floor from Omega, goes for the moonsault off the barricade. MJF gets his knees up. Then we get a tombstone pile driver on a seated chair. Wonderful. Omega goes for the super one-wing angel. MJF counters by spiking him with the poison rod. I remember you thought he was dead.
I thought he was hurt for sure.
Then we get the Heat Seeker right after, which was an amazing near fall. I thought that was awesome. Then MJF goes for the belt. Ref takes it away. He uses it as an opportunity, obviously, to take out the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Ospreay runs down, takes it away. Omega grabs the title, goes to deck MJF, decides against it. This allows MJF to hit a low blow and a belt shot behind the ref's back. And Omega defiantly kicks out at 1, which got the crowd in a fever pitch.
Yep.
Then the finish was 3 V triggers and a 1-wing angel, and Omega is once again world champion. I'd also like to point out his ring gear was beautiful, and I loved it.
Fantastic. Probably TV match of the year contender, right?
I'd say so. It was excellent. I'm actually going to add it there.
Meltzer gave it 5.5 stars or something.
That's ridiculous because I think that's more than... Actually, it's either more the same that he gave Ospreay Swerve.
Omega is so good at creating drama, and
I don't even know how, he just is.
And part of this was like, I think it was like the exhaustion from the heat, right? He just looked like he was drained. He was crazy sweaty. And MJF's probably the best heel in the business, and he was selling his leg really well. The stipulation did sort of telegraph the win,
but not entirely, because we just saw Omega Hangman fall to that stipulation.
But at the same time, it kind of makes me go, it's unlikely they're taking 2 of their top guys. But at the very
least, we have that precedent to be like, okay, It's not like it can't happen.
But a fantastic TV main event, obviously. Like, this is all you could hope for in a main event. It was super important.
Especially for TV.
Got like 25 minutes, tons of drama, really good back and forth action. A couple spots where we gasped, and I really thought Omega had hurt himself for sure.
I don't know how he keeps drilling himself on his head and surviving.
So just a fantastic match, honestly.
And as we mentioned before, it gets us to have finally the Ospreay Omega rubber match.
Yep.
Which it's the match I wanted for All In the first year, which was 3 years ago almost. So glad we're finally getting it.
It's going to be crazy.
As expected, an absolute insane main event here. Crazy to get this on free TV, but no complaints from me. As enjoyable, if not more enjoyable than their Dynasty match, in my opinion. Just the feels and the feel-good result kind of put it over the top here. Drama in this one built perfectly, and we had some great big spots in near falls. I was pretty sure Omega was winning, but it was never a lock, so the near falls were believable and had my full attention. And like you said, Omega just has this ability to bring so much drama to his matches. I don't even know what it is. It's just, he feels like a big deal every time, and it just feels dramatic. The announce table spot was executed perfectly. The Poison Rod Heatseeker sequence was nasty. We had some other great back and forths. I thought the little belt shot spot with Ospreay involved was also great. I was hoping Hangman to come back in like that kind of spot, but I think Ospreay works just as well, and it makes sense. I like him helping Omega when it mattered most after not seeming to fully believe in him last week, and it kind of also makes their feud more interesting to see what happens there. I'm happy for Kenny. He deserves this, and I'm glad he'll get to main event All In before he calls it quits. I feel a little bad for MJF because, like I said, he's been amazing this year and absolutely deserves it. And it sucks he's getting subbed to the main event, likely. Whether it's due to his bad knee or just creative because this is what they want to do. But he's main evented Wembley before, and he will again.
Will he be on All In this year, you think?
I could see him coming back.
They have time to give.
We're also on a year of Herculean quick comebacks because Fletcher and Willow came back surprisingly quick.
They did.
So if his knee is just a hyperextension, have him take like the month off and then come back for August. But he put in another fantastic shift here, and he deserves all the praise in the world. I'm not sure how the rest of the year will shake out, but right now he's my wrestler of the year, I think.
He's great.
He's done fantastic. His promos are always great. His matches are great. He's given us 2 amazing title wins this year now. And like, they're not the same without someone like MJF, right? It's him being it was him being unprepared for Darby that like really sold that moment and made it cool. It was him being an unbelievable douche and giving Omega the stipulation that made this a big deal. I thought it was a great way to cap out the show. And this is one of the times where I think the environment played in because Omega was like sweating, his hair was really wet, but I thought it made it look even better.
Oh, it adds to it.
It reminded me of New Japan Omega when he would get like sweaty wrestling like an hour against Okada.
Exactly.
So I thought this was a pretty good show, and it felt like a TV special. I think the unique venue and like the unique dressing and setup and just look of it really helped. I thought the outdoor environment reminded me of Daly's Place, which is always a good thing. We had 2 great matches that yielded 2 big title changes, and while the other matches in between were ranging quality of solid to like uninteresting, the big things really delivered. Ospreay and MJF also had a really good promo. And aside from the weirdness of Foley being involved, I thought the stuff after the Fletcher Takeshi match was solid as well. Overall, I think we had better shows in the year, but this one was good and had some great stuff on it with a great look and feel to boot. And to me, the important thing with these specials is that like this one felt special. It felt different. It felt like it stood out, which always gets bonus points for me. So I'm giving it a B+. It's definitely not an A-range show, but it was really enjoyable, and the big stuff it delivered on what it was supposed to be.
I did go A- just based on getting a match of the year and then another amazing match. I was willing to put it, and the opener was good. Like I actually liked the Ciampa Jericho match. So I just think
I could be persuaded, but I'll stick with
a show with that main event that delivered like that. The two matches really delivered. I got to go A-. That's a TV show that gave us 2 pay-per-view matches.
And title changes with them.
Correct. All right, that's going to wrap that up. We'll shift gears, do a little bit of trivia, and kind of related to stuff we just talked about. We'll do that now. It's called Off the Top of His Head. So in honor of his win in the main event, I went with really challenging Kenny Omega trivia with options and right answers for a super wrestling nerd, 15 to 20 questions. Here's what I got. We'll see if it's right. We're going back to a little bit of AI. So if you know this, you're a nerd. I don't think you will. 1, before becoming Kenny Omega, under what ring name did he originally compete in PCW?
No.
Would you like options?
Sure.
Ken Kennedy Jr.,
No.
Scott Carpenter, Tyson Smith, Kenny Omori.
Tyson Smith.
Correct.
That was a complete guess.
Very good. Which wrestler defeated Kenny Omega to end his IWGP Heavyweight Championship reign in 2019?
Tanahashi?
Tanahashi is correct.
I don't know why I know that.
Which DDT wrestler, good luck, was Kenny Omega's most frequent tag team partner before joining New Japan?
Was it Taguchi?
No.
This is someone else?
Oh, if I give you the options, you'll get it.
Okay. Was it Ibushi?
It is Ibushi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taguchi was New Japan. No, Taguchi
The
was
other options
Devitt.
were
Never mind.
Hiroshima,
I'm completely wrong. Hiroshima. Oh, whoa.
Denshoku Dieno, and Tetsuya Endo. I don't know. Number 4, Kenny Omega wrestled an infamous 9-year-old girl in DDT. What was her ring name?
No idea.
Haruka, Riho, Mei Suruga, or Lulu Pencil?
Lulu Pencil's. I feel like it was Haruka though.
It was Haruka.
Okay, Lulu Pencil is oddly. I was like,
you just want to say it.
It felt like too much of a T though. Like I was like, I feel like you're teaming me up for that.
Which member of Bullet Club originally recruited Kenny Omega into the faction?
Carl Anderson.
Why would you know that?
Oh, that was a guess.
That's correct.
I just remember like when I was watching New Japan did like this recount series where they went over the formation of Bullet Club. I remember there being some promo where Anderson was like introducing him. So it just, I don't know, it came to mind.
At Wrestle Kingdom 11, Kenny Omega wrestled Okada in what match number on the card? Wrestle Kingdom.
Was it the main event?
It was the main event. I was going to say your options will make it pretty.
Main event.
Number 7, Kenny Omega became the first non-Japanese wrestler to win which tournament?
G1.
Correct. That one even I knew.
He was the only one, I think, until Sabre did a couple years ago.
Which move did Kenny Omega regularly use as a finisher during his junior heavyweight run before fully adopting the one winged angel?
It's something Wrath, isn't it?
You want the options?
Sure.
Kreutz Wrath?
That.
Yeah.
He did that in...
Hadouken was the second.
He did do the Hadouken too. Well, because like Excalibur called that during the MJF match, and I was like, "What's Wrath?" So I knew it was something Wrath.
Nice.
It's basically the one winged angel. It's the one where he does this, but he drops him into a German.
Yeah,
it's that one.
What is Kenny Omega's actual birth city?
Oh, is it? It's not Winnipeg.
It is Winnipeg.
It is. Okay, cool.
Which New Japan faction did Kenny belong to immediately before Bullet Club?
Ooh. I don't know.
Options?
Sure. I didn't know he was in
Chaos, Suzuki Gun,
No.
No Faction, Rise.
I feel like there's no faction.
It is No Faction.
I was like, I didn't know he's in another faction.
Number 11, during the famous Okada versus Omega 4, approximately how long did the match last? I have options if you'd like.
62 minutes. 63.
64 minutes was the, well.
I knew it was just over an hour.
Which video game character inspired Kenny Omega's V-Trigger knee strike animation?
Yeah, give me options, because I know it'll be like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
Kazuya Mishima, Ryu, Yori Yagami, or Geese Howard?
First one.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not Geese Howard. Geese Howard and Lulu Pencil. Kenny Omega won the PWG World Championship by defeating who?
El Generico.
No.
Damn it. Kevin Steen.
Cole, Strong, Davey Richards, Kevin Steen.
I'm going to second guess my guess I just said.
You
Cole.
should. No. Roddy.
Omega Roddy would be cool.
Allegedly, according to this. Which wrestler handed Kenny Omega his first singles loss in AEW? You should know this one. I got options if you want them.
Jericho. Because it was at the first show.
Is one of the options, but they're saying no.
He lost. Omega lost at the first show.
Oh.
Who are they saying?
They're saying Pac.
No. Because let me look at Double or Nothing 2019. Because Double or Nothing 2019, the main event was Omega Jericho, and the winner went on to All Out for the world title, right? Because then Jericho.
Maybe they're not considering the company formed at that point. I don't know.
I mean, it was an AEW show. The company had well formed.
But
Pac did win that one. I do remember him winning that. So it's almost right.
What was the name of Kenny Omega's entrance music during much of his New Japan run?
Devil Sky?
Correct. In DDT, Kenny Omega once held which unusual championship?
The Iron Metal one? The Iron Man heavy metal weight, whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's like their 24/7 belt.
That's funny. Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi were collectively known as?
Golden Lovers.
Correct. Which wrestler was the first person to officially kick out of the One-Winged Angel in a sanctioned singles match? Kota Ibushi is correct. And then, so they threw in a bonus, only the sickos know.
Okay.
Which of these wrestlers has Kenny Omega never wrestled in a televised singles match?
Okay.
I don't think this is that hard. El Generico?
Yeah, he has.
Claudio? Punk? Sabre?
I feel like it has to be Punk, right?
It is Punk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. You knew a lot. I wasn't sure because like Omega, a lot of his stuff is obviously not AEW, which is...
And some of it's not even New Japan.
Not your wheelhouse, right? So you still crushed it. You're a nerd. Good job. All right. Final thing we'll do is discuss a little bit NXT. Last segment, we call it Highspots and Restholds. Okay, NXT this week. I was telling you earlier, Meltzer loved this show. Like there were 3 matches above 4 stars on this show.
Crazy. I couldn't find those.
Not to spoil anything, I won't be agreeing with him entirely on this. So the show opens, which is like really becoming the standard feature for the women's division. What did it used to be? What was it always in NXT? The women's segments would always be where?
Oh, locker room.
Locker room. So now it is one of the possible contending women starts in the ring and the other ones all walk out one at a time, right? And we all learn, we get a nice visual of who's in the title picture and who's
stepping up this week.
So this week they start with someone new, at least. It's Callie Armstrong in the ring first. She says she's creating her own opportunities because she attacked Kendall Gray at ringside last week at the main event. It's not a matter of whether she runs the division, it's a matter of when. Lola comes out next. She wants her rematch. She doesn't care who wins the main event. Whether it's Natty or Kendall, she's winning the title back regardless. Kalani comes out. Her normal complaint, she's overlooked. Everyone else is getting all these shots. She's been there for 3 years. She should be getting this title shot. Lola doesn't want to listen to her. They start fighting. Callie takes them both out with the double clothesline and then double shoulder tackle to each of them. So again, nothing wrong with this. It's just like this is every week now, right? It's starting to feel like copy and paste like we've talked about with
what they were doing before.
So NXT have replaced the locker room segments with these. Callie didn't sound great in a live segment like this, but again, she's new and she can learn for sure. She didn't sound terrible and she's a physical presence, so we'll see where it all goes. Then we get our first of 2 4-way matches on this episode. This one's for a tag team title shot. Do you remember the teams that are in it?
Legacy and Pinto.
Yes.
Dark State.
Yes. Remember, they wouldn't let Dar and Romero in.
I saw some clips, so I know there's one other heel team I'm missing.
2 more heel teams.
Oh, there's only one babyface team. Okay.
Yep.
Calling? No, because Calling aren't one.
They're broken up, man. How dare you?
Because
one team of big guys, one team of small guys.
OTM?
Yes.
Aren't they kind of babyface now?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You're right. They are. They are. I lied.
Oh no, because Vanity Project are the champions. I don't know who else.
Birthright.
Right. Okay. Because they suck.
So they did the way I think you would prefer with 4 guys in the ring
I always
at the
think
same
that makes
time.
more because then it's actually a 4-way.
So you
and
get
you're not
more
tearing out
action
other
packed
people.
for sure as well.
Yeah.
Notable thing, Saquon Sugar shows up with a bat, but before he can get involved, Dion Lennox chases him away. OTM send Dark State into the steps, hit their finisher on Uriah Connors, but then the other Birthright guys, Dempsey and King, sort of get involved with OTM out on the floor, and there's no DQ in this case. So they do that stupid thing where they brawl up the ramp into the back and they're gone.
Where like they're fighting away.
Yes, fighting as they walk, a fight and walk. So that leaves Van Dukes to hit a splash, an immediate 450 from Legacy onto Connors. They follow up. They get the win here in 11 minutes. Like every NXT match that is not a squash or enhancement, it's like 10 to 14 minutes. That's the window. So fun match. Lots going on. The story is the brand new tag team, right? I think this was their 3rd match together. Get a title shot ahead of the more established teams. Obviously,
the other one couldn't qualify.
Right. That have had the same number of matches, basically. So OTM and Birthright are carrying on their issues. I'm not sure that's a thing people care much about. I know I don't. Dark State aren't done with Sugars. So that really only left Legacy and Van Dukes to earn this shot, right? And they are a cool team, but we don't know anything about them. So they don't really feel like a legit challenger because Vanity Project, they spend a lot of time character stuff and they feel important.
And you just form these guys.
And
like,
Legacy and DVD are like, hey, you guys are high flyers that we don't really have room for as singles, so just be a team. So the match should be fun, right? But I can't see Vanity Project losing at this point.
Probably not.
Jada Parker talks about her loss to Natty. She said she's fighting back. She beat, my God, what's her first name? Carmen Petrovich. It's not about being soft. It's about being really close to where she wants to be. She came to NXT. Natty came to NXT to make her stale ass relevant again, and she's done that. And Jada's gonna put her down now. So this disappoints me. I like Jada Parker, and I thought they were doing something where Natty calls her soft, and it's kind of striking a nerve with Jada, and she
gets back at her.
So she has to like grapple with the idea of like you try to come across as super tough, but you're really not, but it's just like they made it just sort of gone, right? It's now she's just exactly the same and ignoring that and moving on when it kind of looked like it's striking a nerve with her. She is kind of taking it to heart, and now it's like, nah, whatever. So it's kind of like they abandon a story that felt like it could have been interesting. But again, I've been saying for a few weeks now, NXT's in this loop of like juvenile stuff, and that felt a bit too sophisticated. It was too sophisticated for them to keep telling that story, right? So they just dropped it, it feels like. And I feel like Jada's getting her win back from Natty, right? So seems like that's where we're going.
I would imagine so.
Saquon Sugars gets an interview. He implies that he can't just pick off Dark State one by one, so he's going to need to bring in some help. The problem is he's made so many enemies in the locker room, he may have to shake some hands and kiss some babies. So I would love if they bring in new talent for him to work with, but I immediately start going, because it's WWE, what black guys can they put him with? Obvious answer. You already said who are black guys that are faces right now.
I already forgot. OTM?
Yep.
Right. Are they black? Or are they like, I don't know, Nima? I'm like, is he like one of those Latino guys?
Person of color, at least.
Yes.
And that sucks, because it's like he could be working with anyone, but knowing WWE, right? That's what they'll do.
I would imagine so.
And then I wanted to ask you, his catchphrase is "I'm up next, you're up never." Thoughts?
No.
I don't like it either.
I'm good.
And then I think he says, what is it? "I'm up next, you're up never, and nothing sweeter," because Sugars. I don't love it. It feels kind of forced.
Because like he's kind of street guy, like
he's cool, but I don't love that catchphrase.
I don't.
Frankly.
No.
Keanu Carver gets a much needed win. He beats Tank in about 5 minutes. Tank was defending Hank's honor because Carver took him out at Great American Bash. I didn't really remember. Carver hits a drop kick that almost looked like a cave in. I don't even know if it was on purpose. It's like he kind of jumped too close, and then just his feet make contact, and then he also like forces him down. It looked cool. I don't know if it was on purpose.
The cave in was pretty awesome back
it was.
in the day.
I actually just saw him win something in
MLW.
Yes. And he drilled the cave in to somebody.
Yep.
Good
job.
And then he hit his like lame slam finisher thing for the win.
I did see his finisher. I thought it looked stupid.
It's weak. So Carver needed a dominant win because he just lost twice to EK Prosper, right? So Tank is a guy that like, he's a tag team guy. B, we don't really have plans for you, so go take a loss. He did. Naraku segment, speaking Japanese mostly with subtitles. At Great American Bash, Tony escaped with the win, but Naraku crushed Tony's spirits. I'll complain about the whole thing. Okay. There is more torture and pain in Tony's future. Naraku will be NXT champion, and then he does his laugh. He, let me remind you, got beat clean in 10 minutes.
In like the opener too. It sounded like it was like some big main event thing.
So apparently, but in that 10 minutes, he crushed Tony's spirit somewhere. So I'm not a fan of Evil. I was open to him being cool in NXT. His character, the fireball and the laughing at the fireball, actually entertained me. But then he hasn't backed it up in the ring, and it feels like Tony should be moving on. He won decisively in 10 minutes, and Naraku's done literally nothing since then. So why is this going on still? Again,
who else is he going to face?
That's part of it, right? I was just going to say, the cupboard's kind of empty.
Yeah.
Who's championship material there right now? Like, they've tried stuff with Born and Heights. They're both really boring, right? Saints and Ego just left. So those were your other hope.
And like,
there's nobody ready. And D'Angelo's title reign is...
Who else could it be? Other than like, maybe you elevate Jackson Drake, but I don't think they want to do that yet.
Not yet. I don't know who you... like. They're really hurting for top of the card.
Yeah.
I think they were hoping Bourne would be ready by now. He's not.
Heights isn't either.
Tony D's title reign is really, really weak at this point.
I mean, one, what'd you expect? Two, it's not entirely his fault.
It's not. It is. He is boring as hell. Maybe largely
his fault.
But there's also no one interesting for him to feud with.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I get why they feel the need to use Naraku, but then why did you do the Great American Bash the way you did?
Like, yeah, right? Have him lose in a way
clean
that like
as a
dismisses
sheet
him
right
so
away.
much. Yeah.
To a guy with one eye, too, don't forget.
That's true. They also did that.
So, and then it's like, nope, I broke your spirits and I get another... Why? Why do you...
I burned your face.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm confused by that. Cam Hendricks and Tate Wilder are backstage. Tate will challenge Naraku, and Hendricks has a hurt knee, and then when he's healed, he's going to take out Mason Rook. Mason Rook walks in, says if he was the one to put Cam on the shelf, he wouldn't be getting back up. Hendricks seems a little bit nervous. Kind of just a nothing segment to show what's going on with these guys next. So Tate is our like thrill seeker, so it makes sense he's going to take on Naraku, right, and obviously get killed, and then the other two can have an entry level feud, I guess. I don't know. I haven't been big on Cam Hendricks yet, but I do like Mason Rook. Natty's backstage with her posse. Layla Diggs is out of the group after a week. She says she can handle the 4-way match that she's in tonight on her own.
Okay,
so
I guess
a major shift in her alliance was 0 time spent on her character.
0 time spent in the group as well.
And I don't understand. It was just like, I've been with your group for maybe 2 weeks at most. And I'm just like, nah, I'm good. And she was right, because the women's 4-way is next to earn a shot at Zarya and the North American title. Nightmare for Booker T and me. It's Lizzie Rain and Izzy Dame in a match together. So why this is a thing, I don't know. Lots of chaos. Rain hit her finisher on Hale. Dame followed up with a running knee to Rain, which sent her to the floor. And then Dame awkwardly, it was one of those where her momentum's supposed to take her out of the ring too.
But it doesn't work.
But it doesn't. So she has to then like roll out of the ring inexplicably, right? At that point. So that leaves Hale alone with Diggs. Diggs hits a moonsault for the win. People love this match. I did not. I thought it was kind of a mess. 12 minutes long. So many stand around and let people jump on you. So many like wriggle into position to take this. So clearly scripted and planned out, which
I remember the one women's match you felt that way. It was like, I think it was Flair,
yes,
Asuka, Belair, SummerSlam.
It's so disappointing.
Yeah.
It feels like they have all their stuff worked out. And honestly, other than Diggs, the rest of them aren't newbies, right? Like Lizzie Rain's been wrestling, Izzy Dame's been wrestling. So I don't know. I didn't love this match. I thought it was just a lot of cooperation, a lot of clearly moving from one scripted thing to another. Wasn't my favorite. Reina Vulcan is her name, and she's here to dominate. She came out and took out somebody. She attacked somebody a couple weeks ago. I can't remember who it is. At the end of the show.
Was it Paxley?
Maybe Paxley, yeah. She's a natural disaster with purpose. Remember her face because she's the first, the future, and the force of nature. Fine first promo, pretty basic. I want to see her in ring. She's playing like a killer, so I hope she's cool. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know anything about her, so we'll find out. Tavion Heights has been a bad brother. He felt like he was being forgotten, and that's like the worst thing to him. But he was wrong, and he wants to apologize to Miles Bourne man to man. Vanity Project walk in talking about how Legacy and Dorian Van Dukes should not have earned a title shot and will not be taking the tag titles from them. Drake mocks Heights for fumbling his shot at the Bash. Heights win, and he adds that Heights' win over Drake was a fluke, and Heights needed Bourne to help him win. Heights suggests they have a rematch. Things start to escalate. Vanity Project attack Heights. Bourne comes in to make the save. Heights and Bourne celebrate together. So
They are brothers, though.
another story that's been like, we're on the same team.
And like surface level.
We're not on the same team. So I'm turning heel, but no, I'm not really turning heel, even though you beat me. I don't know. Teammates to adversaries, back to teammates. They've told this story multiple times, and it hasn't been interesting either time. I don't care if they're back together or not, but maybe it's like, let's put them in a tag team because we tried. We tried singles, it didn't work, so stick them back in a team. And that's what I'm saying. They were guys that I think maybe they were hoping by now would have filled that void, the vacuum at the top of the men's division.
Or at least in the mid card.
They're not. So they've got to find something else, and I don't know what it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Nico Vance, but he did win a singles match against Shiloh Hill in about 5 minutes. We had Tristan Angel show up. He grabs Hill's tooth, and obviously that's enough of a distraction to any human being, you know? You got to...
Yeah, I remember seeing this. I was like, oh, I knew you were going to love it.
And you told me Vance's new finisher, because you texted me, have you seen Vance's new finisher? And I texted back, he has literally never needed to use one. So I had no idea. And it is a hidden blade.
A very tame one, might I add.
Yes. So nothing wrong with Vance picking up a singles win because he has to be a singles wrestler. And the Angels Hill stuff continues, which I haven't been a fan of. I really was optimistic about Shiloh Hill in the beginning, even with his gimmick is everything. Was still funny.
But like, I don't know.
He's a joke.
Somewhere along the way, they ruined it.
So, good news for you. Did you see what happened after? Sean Spears comes, attacks Nico Vance with a chair.
I saw him do that.
Good fan reaction. Lots of people in the crowd doing the 10 stuff.
I think we should do it.
We're going to force it, eh?
I think we got to do it.
So,
what could we possibly stand to lose? Sean Spears is boring.
Honestly, it's the only thing that might be interesting. I don't know what they can do.
Why not?
Yeah.
Ty Dillinger's awesome.
So we'll see. The crowd definitely wanted it. So the main event, which Dave Meltzer gave 4.5 stars, which is insane, was Natty taking on Kendall Gray. I love Kendall Gray. Nowhere near as much as Dave Meltzer. Apparently everything she touches, Meltzer's like AEW and
it's
Kendall
like,
Gray.
It's AEW New Japan,
Kendall Gray.
Ospreay, Kendall Gray.
So this was 11 minutes. Natty dominates the vast majority, holds and counters. It was good, like counter wrestling and realistic looking stuff. And then it was Kendall Gray hitting a Shades of Gray out of nowhere. They are sort of pushing the out of nowhere with her finisher.
Isn't hers just pay dirt?
It is.
Like,
and she can hit it suddenly.
But that also never vibed with me as a finisher, I'm not going to lie.
So I thought the match itself was fine to good, but for me, part of the problem, right? I've seen Natty do so many stupid things, not her fault, just stuff like farting Natalia, for one thing, which I don't even know if people know is real, but it's real. So now that she's cosplaying Ronda Rousey, I would strongly say it's not working for me. I wasn't a big fan.
I would argue too, it doesn't even really work for me, even if she wasn't farting and doing that stuff. Because like, just as a wrestler, she was never presented as a big deal or that threatening. Because like, a lot of the time she's a happy-go-lucky babyface, but also just like, she never really was believable as a technical wrestler. That like, even like a legend, because she's just been around a while. Like,
yes, it's like you've existed for a really long time, so you're a legend.
Honestly, it's only impressive because TKO is like getting everyone out who's old.
And I'm not a big Rousey fan, so someone doing an imitation of her in NXT is even less appealing.
That is true.
And it kind of felt like Gray is getting the Cena treatment, right? She's dominated for most of the match, and then boom, your signature stuff, and we're out of here. So I don't think it was a bad match at all. And Kendall Gray, I think, is going to be great. She's already excellent. But like, to say this is 4.5 stars to me is like, he's going to say that he hasn't still, Meltzer that is, has not rated the Monet.
I don't
Maya
know
World
why.
yet.
I saw him give some bullshit reason, but
So if he's going to say that this is better than that, then I don't know what his deal. I know he loves Kendall Gray, and as do
and
I.
obviously things are.
This is not
I mean, it's Infinite Stars.
an
So
11
it's Infinite Stars.
minute-
So this is not good.
11-minute match on TV is 4.5
This
stars.
isn't that good. It's Infinite.
I guess so. But yeah, that was the NXT this week. So I wasn't as high on it as a lot of people were. I don't think it was bad by any means, but it definitely wasn't anything amazing. And I think that's all I've got to say about wrestling this week. You?
And I already did my Mirage stuff. I mean, SmackDown's happening as we speak, but the chances I talk about that are
Very slim.
slim to none.
So I guess that's going to wrap it up for us for episode 312. Thanks for joining us. Feel free to leave a comment if you can. I will try to reply to any comments on YouTube, and you reply to any social media.
I do.
I believe. So reach out to us. Let us know what you think of the show. Ask us any questions if you want to. We'll probably give you a shout out on the show. Have a great week. We'll see you back here next Saturday for 313. And until then, everybody, take care.